All right, Guitar Friends, episode 35. John, can you play something just assault us with just
Did that do it?
That should be Sousa's ringtone for when you call.
For you only. Hold on, John.
That would
Sue's
be
calling.
so good. That would be so good.
Wow.
Give us another ringtone.
Yeah, make
What do we got?
ringtone.
I don't know. You guys are putting me on
He's not
the
gonna do
spot
it.
now.
I could just take the baby one. The
Better.
Yep.
Can you do the that or the that or the that and then give us a little squealy? That'll do.
The squeal is good.
You know what? To defend myself a little bit here,
Yeah.
this guitar is the worst at pinch harmonics. And
Really?
I don't know what it
Really?
is. Yes, it's terrible.
What
That's
makes
the old-
it bad?
I don't know.
That's the old Harley Benton.
Yeah, this is the Harley Benton. I love this guitar, though.
Yeah.
Were it not for the pinch harmonics.
I mean, I make it happen, but it doesn't
Yeah.
happen every time.
It's a little laborious, huh?
I like to pride myself on being really good at pinch harmonics, and this
Yeah.
guitar is challenging that.
It's making you
Interesting.
into a liar. Guitar Friends, episode 35. Here we are.
35.
Very, very important business. I'd like to address the elephant in the room, and that is there seem to be a number of people in the comments who I said we were going to start with this, so we're just going to start with it. So you need a number of people in the comments that think they can come in and after, I don't know, they listen to the intro or something, and they go, obviously, we know how you see the world, and you vote. And there's a lot of accusations out there. And I made a joke last time. Are you voting for the felon or the guy with dementia?
Both of those things I think are facts, though.
I think so. I think so.
I think those are the actual choices.
You haven't actually said anything new.
And so I sit here and I just go, I have always been a contrarian. I'm a contrarian. It's easier to criticize the people in power. Okay? So Joe is going to get the majority of criticism right now from me because he has all the power. You know what I mean? I'm not, there's a lot of other people I'm not criticizing right now, like Taylor Swift. You know why? No real power. I'm not blaming her for the war in Ukraine. She has no influence over the war in Ukraine.
She might be a little bit to blame.
She might have something to do with this. But you know what I'm
Wouldn't
saying?
that be wild?
Like this,
I'm joking.
I'm
for
not-
anyone who's
I'm not out
Who
here
doesn't know?
who
Yeah.
doesn't know that I'm
Please
joking.
joke.
I'm
Yeah.
joking.
I'm not out here going, I just think Axl Rose needs to be more concerned with the rapid rise in federal debt. He doesn't have anything to do with it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And so there's this disillusionment that people just go, oh, I know how you think, I know who you are, I know you everything. And I just want to say, it's not about like voting for one guy or another, or me liking Donald or not liking Donald. I think what's unequivocal is he's the funniest person who's ever been the president. He's entertaining as hell, right? I mean, if you can't laugh at just how crazy all this is.
It's kinda
Sometimes
true.
I watch like Home Alone with my kids and he shows up there.
I know.
And then, or like it'll be like recommended to you. Like, do you want to watch The Apprentice? I'm like, oh, right. He had a show on primetime television for years, making people run fake businesses for an NBC television show. This is all a joke. This is all a joke.
Right.
And it's a joke when people want to say like, oh, you just like the, like, as though I'm just saying this. If you are like seriously like criticizing anyone for how they're going to vote in November, I just want to say I think you're a joke. So I don't take those comments seriously. I don't even know what's serious anymore. A lot of times I'm just going after a punchline, and
It's true. We've all seen it.
True.
Yeah.
and we have one guy who is full of punchlines and full of jokes, and the other guy can't remember the setup to the joke.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
there we go.
There you go.
There you go.
If we're going to judge him just on bumper stickers and T-shirts, clear winner. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
So, if people want to make like political comments, like the pro or con, I would just say you don't know what I think about anything. You don't really know.
Well, and the reality too is like we're all complex human beings that have different opinions, informed by our each unique lived experience, and that's it.
The stuff
beautiful.
I would say this. The only thing I'm real serious about, the stuff I say about Jesus, I'm not joking about. But the stuff I say about like Trump or Biden, you know what I mean? I don't.
Are you serious about tone?
Yeah, I'm serious about tone.
Jesus and guitar tone.
Jesus and tone.
I mean,
yeah.
You could do
You know?
worse.
you could do way worse. Yeah.
Yeah, so somebody even put one time, you snuck in. Oh, this was great until they snuck in the part about like church and worship music, and I just thought, well, I didn't sneak in it at all.
Snuck in.
I mean, I kind of been wearing this on my sleeve for quite a while.
It's kind of been part of the whole thing.
It's kind of been part of the thing. I don't know if you noticed, we put out a lot of worshipy stuff.
Yeah.
Several products of 100 worship songs.
Is this true?
We haven't done that for blues, or
Don't plan to.
Yeah, yeah. It'll be.
Did it take you? Was that a lot of effort?
Yeah.
Yeah. Wait till we put out the 100 hours of Buddhist meditation music for the guitar.
I don't know. People are really. They've been clamoring.
It's just a.
Did somebody say ambient music?
It's just a funny thing. It's just a funny thing when people want to like get into one, like, for or against, because it reminds me of the Tesla thing, right? Where it's like, oh, you like electric cars,
Right.
Must be a Democrat. And then it's like other people. It's like, oh, you like Elon, you must be a Republican. And it's like, my car is way more awesome than your Camry. So,
Right.
You know what I mean? And so have fun listening to NPR or Sean Hannity in your shitty Camry, right? I'm just in a Tesla. So shut up. Like, you're dumb. You don't know what you're talking about.
Right.
You're completely not, you're not seeing the world correctly.
No, you know what? Okay, but here's the thing. This is like, it goes beyond this too, and it's the political conversation has infiltrated everything.
Everything.
Because now people want to figure out what camp you belong to.
Yeah.
And so they'll say, but how do you feel about the Kemper? What about the quad cortex? They're trying to figure you out. They're trying to say that you can only think one is
You can
great.
fit here and nowhere else.
Yeah, and it's like, well, what if I just like whatever I happen to have been playing more of in the last 48 hours?
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
For instance, guys, I think ToneX might be one of the better platforms.
You think it's better?
I don't know. It's really good.
What happens?
I started making a lot of profiles. And I was
Listen,
like, holy crap.
You tell us
These
why.
actually turn out really
And I'm going to
good.
go figure out what I do with my iced coffee, because I poured it and I came back. We started the episode and it's not here. Does anyone see it?
Is this the Suze and John 2 takeover?
We've Susan and John
We've
2
threatened.
takeover for. So
We can say whatever
this
we
is
want.
not. This is not planned. I really have forgotten. I don't. I
Yeah.
just went upstairs to pour myself a new coffee.
It's probably by the sink.
It's probably by the sink up
Yeah.
there. I'll be right back.
Uh-oh.
Nice.
Here we are.
Wow. This
What
is
do you
really
want
good.
to talk about for the next few minutes? Here he goes.
I've always wanted to do this.
Oh, this is great.
My, how far we've come. It makes you feel powerful having this.
It's like heavier
is-
than you would think.
Yeah, no, it's just it's
got
just a
weight to
substantial
it.
mic, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, 1, 2, check volume. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. No, it's easier to control
No,
volume.
ToneX.
Oh, ToneX.
Yeah.
Other than the fact that it takes 1 million hours to make a profile.
Yeah, it really does.
It really does.
Yeah. What'd you say, like a 30 minutes per
It's like 30 minutes.
capture?
Yeah.
And so, like, when you did one of these amps, how many captures did you have?
I mean, oh no.
I've been caught.
I think ToneX, I don't know. I like that it's all software. I like that. I don't like that it takes days and days to make a profile.
They've been saying they're working on batch processing for a long time.
I don't think batch process. I think batch processing is the wrong solution.
You just want faster training?
Everyone else has managed it. Quad Cortex has managed it. The Kemper Profiler managed it a decade ago. You know? I mean, they're not doing... I don't think that the Profiler is doing AI stuff, but I don't know.
Right.
I don't know. All I'm saying. Other than that, though, once you have it and once it's there, I think they sound really, really good. And I think it's good. I think it's okay to manage it that way. But I really like that it's all in software.
Yeah, yeah. It's funny. Susan and I were on the software the other day, and it's terrible. It's the worst software. I don't know what ToneX is doing sometimes.
It actually got worse. I think it was better before.
I actually agree with you.
Yeah.
I haven't updated in a while. Maybe I shouldn't. Do it.
Well, the last time we talked about ToneX and I said I doubt anyone from IK listens, I got an email that said we do listen.
Right.
Wow. Hey.
So I don't want to say. So I want to give some constructive criticism here. I'm really having a hard time with using ToneNet to find sounds and then somehow get those sounds into my pedal easily.
Yeah.
That really needs to become like when I used to do like e-commerce stuff. I guess I do e-commerce now, but
Used to.
I guess that's my business.
Like
now.
earlier today.
No, but
right
I mean
now.
when I was working, I was working for a company, and we were selling like apparel. We used to, like earlier internet days, this is like kind of rudimentary stuff, but we used to talk about clicks to cart. You know, it was like, and how many clicks does it take you to see the thing you want and then get out of there with it, you know? And it's like, don't make it hard for people to give you their money. Don't make it hard for people to pull the trigger and say yes. You know, you don't oversell, don't keep selling, just close the deal. And there's a little bit of like, there's people on ToneNet, you find something you like. There seems to be this disconnect between that and the software and actually getting it into a place you can play it. I'd like to be able to just like click more things and have them just automatically appear. Even if that means there's some sort of a master sync button where I can say like, give me a way to try these out or give me these now. Do you know what I mean? Like what were you feeling about it?
The whole thing that we were just trying to do was find captures by a person. And that was impossible. Like we couldn't type their name in. We couldn't.
Yeah, so in the
link
software,
it from
not on ToneNet, but in the software.
Yeah, it was this thing of like the website could show you the person making the captures, but you can't put it on your pedal from the website. So then when you click the button, it takes you to the software. But now you can put them on your pedal, but you can't tell who made anything because because
you couldn't look by.
There's no sort by author. There's
exactly. And basically, we were trying to do a video where we were like top 5 free things on ToneNet.
Yeah.
And it was like, but actually just like finding 5 free ones from random places and getting it onto the pedal was like
Harder.
It was pretty hard.
Yeah.
It was pretty
We just
laborious
gave
because
up.
we had to like take them from. We had to like you had to like search basically in ToneX to find the things we had found in ToneNet, you know, or we could favorite them so that we could see them in Tone. It was just, I don't know. They need to make it easier, and I'd like to be able to discover a new person, like a new creator, and then easily find that person
From the software.
from ToneNet, and then easily in the ToneX software look up find that person there. But now for whatever reason, right now there's no sort by author. They took that field away.
Like we went to ToneNet, typed in Tone Junkie, hit enter, no results. That shouldn't be the case.
Not true.
You mean for
on the software?
On the software,
Yeah,
not on Tone.net.
Yeah, but the ToneNet button
but you
on the
click
software.
ToneNet.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
yeah,
like
yeah.
I'm browsing online basically.
Yeah. And so what it feels like is that the software is now, it's as bad as the Fender thing was. Where it's like, I can't actually find anybody doing stuff. I can only find these one-off pedal. And so that actually promotes people to just put generic names of everything, 65 Deluxe. Rather than like a little, but then that's fine. But it's not differentiated in any way. And so as a user, there's all these just 65 Deluxe, 1965 Deluxe, 1965 Fender D LUX, 1960, right? It's like all these...
I was reading through the ToneX forum, like the official like feature request forum.
Yeah.
And people complained about like they don't want to see profiles called like, you know, Big Fat Monster or something like that. It doesn't convey any information, right? And so they want to have like more fields. And it's like a classic problem of like a lot of people have a lot of different opinions on how to solve a problem.
Yeah.
But really what needs to happen is IK Multimedia just needs to figure out exactly what, like you were saying, clicks to cart or whatever. Clicks to like in the SaaS world, it's for us, it's all about clicks to like through into the product. Do you know what I mean? Like how many clicks does it take you to give us your credit card and then be working in the product we just sold you? And so, a faster way to like get.
You need a faster. I would like to be able to look around ToneNet, find things, and just hit a button and get them to me very quickly.
Because if it were faster, then like if it were faster and you could search by name or you could search by a pack name, or you could search by whatever, then yeah, it wouldn't even be a problem of like, well, I think I should be able to search by this or that, or you know, I don't know.
It seems like
Sounds
the
good,
workflow is better for the stuff you buy than the free stuff that you can get on this huge tone net.
I'm sure it is.
And so that's like kind of the, and so it feels like people are discovering things on ToneNet, and then they have to go search for them, and hope that it comes up in the search field while they click on ToneNet in the software.
It's weird that those two things aren't exactly the same.
It is weird, and I think the big thing is like what's number one right now. So there's this guy Galtone Studios, and he has this John Mayer one that people are really liking, and so you get these emails from IK that show that's like number one. But if you go to the software, you can't like just go easily find Galtone Studios and find that one. Like you have to search for it or whatever. Yeah, I really wish we could see more. I don't know. I wish Tone.net, the website, was just fully integrated into the software. Like
I'm surprised I'm surprised they haven't figured out how to like open links from there into the software.
It feels like everything I look at Tone.net should be the browser and the software.
Yeah,
that's what I really would like. Then it would be an entire it would be much more kind of like how the Quad Cortex Cloud is. You can actually go explore through stuff. It feels a little
Although
more like that.
I will, some criticism on there and stuff too. The first time I went through that process, I was like, "What is happening?"
I know it's a whole
Still
confusing.
to this day, if something works, I'm like, I got it to work. It did
Yeah,
it.
we're kind of far from any of these having good interface. We really are, and that's unfortunate because I think the products are really good. But that's
except for Kemper, which is like the least sophisticated of all of them, but the most reliable.
I download something, I open up the thing, and I drag it on.
Like
there.
I give you a file the way I know how to give you a file.
So
it's either
easy.
email or iMessage or AirDrop or whatever, and then you just pull it right
It's
in.
not
Done.
sophisticated. Like it's not like fancy or.
No, but it's easy.
But it's so easy
We all
and it
know how to
works.
do
Yeah,
it.
because it's like, why build an entire communication system when email already exists? That's the communication system. You can just use email. Yeah, it's not yours. Yeah, you can't control it, but it lets your users do what they want to do very quickly. Anyway,
Yeah.
we shouldn't talk about software probably. I have too many opinions.
Did you say SaaS?
SaaS.
Software as a service.
Software as a service.
SaaS.
Cool.
Yeah.
First time I've ever heard that.
Never heard that.
What?
I know. It's amazing. It's really amazing. What if there was a
Sometimes I don't know how things are possible.
We were listening to trivia the other day in the car, and the question was, who is the current president? And I said Barack Obama.
No, you didn't.
I wasn't joking.
Suze.
And
in a
Shelley
weird
was
way,
like,
that's true. Actually, a lot of people believe that's
Shelley
true.
was
by
like,
the way.
Well, I mean, it might actually.
Oh, really?
Well, that's like a conspiracy theory.
Well,
so
Shelley
I mean,
was like, ha, that's
think
funny.
you
And I
meant
was
that.
like, is it not?
Is it true?
Yeah. Even my son was like, it's Joe Biden. And I was like,
you were like, oh, right.
Oh my
speaking
gosh.
of politics, you can tell where I stand.
I kind of want to be
What's
where
funny is
you
people
are.
are
I
actually
wanna
going to
be-
think
Yeah.
that means you stand on the right, but really you're.
I have
completely
no
in part-
idea
you
what
don't even- No.
Nope.
I
Don't
kind of
even
want
know.
to. I want to go stand with Suze.
Complete ignorance.
Can we start a new hashtag called like I'm with Suze?
I'm with Suze.
And it's like I'm over here playing guitar and like letting other
Yeah.
people like
It's like, who
Don't
are
even
you
know about
worry about-
voting or
Yeah.
like what
Worry
people
about
are
that
It's like,
talking
who are
about.
you voting for? It's like, I don't know, but I'll be listening to letter J on the on my entire that day.
Right.
totally.
On my Spotify
Yeah.
playlist.
That's what keeps me up at
Right.
night.
right.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
That's great.
My boy. How many losers are we gonna or how many listeners are we gonna lose because that because, how many losers? Actually that was
Was
a
that a
slip.
Freudian?
How many losers are we gonna lose after that?
3.
podcast?
Can you see like in your analytics, like if a video loses you subscriber, like
Yeah.
On this video, they
Yeah, it'll say
unsubscribed.
plus this many or minus
or
this
minus
many.
this?
Yeah, because there's a sub button under the video, and that's really the only way to subscribe. You have to be like kind of watching a video. You can go to someone's channel page too and subscribe
Okay.
right there, but every video
Ryan
has like
sent
a
that thing.
plus or minus.
Okay, like this video earned me this amount of subscribers. Okay.
Yeah, I'll probably lose 3 on this one.
Yeah. Net 3.
That's all right.
That's okay.
Metal Junkie will make up for it.
Yeah, there we go.
Metal.
So speaking of kind of ToneX and some surprising things lately, we had some history happen in the Tone Junkie verse, the Tone Junkie universe. For the first time ever, I'll tell people a little about the business here. You know, Tone Junkie's #1 selling product and the product that brings in the most revenue is the Kemper Everything Pack. And it's been that way as long as I can remember.
Since you
Since you
started
created the
since
everything
you
pack.
started selling.
Yeah, since I started selling an everything pack.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, and you know, I've never had any. Obviously, it sells a lot. People upgrade. You know, there's flash sales with everything pack sales and stuff, and people get the bundle, and then their bundle's outdated, and they buy it again, or they buy an upgrade or whatever. And so every time someone upgrades, I give them a code, and so it looks like another everything pack purchase. You know, so it moves a lot of units, and that's where the majority of the Tone Junkie revenue comes from. Not the majority, but the most of any single pack will come from that. For the first time ever, a pack in a month has outsold the Kemper Everything pack in the Tone Junkie universe.
And it was the
ToneX Everything pack.
wow.
Now, for this last month, they were priced the same. So I kind of wanted to see if this would happen, and so I priced them both the same for the past month. And there's been a equal amount of sales gone to each audience and stuff, and it would appear that. So here's the question: Is ToneX the new king? I mean, I'm looking at this going, I've never seen Helix do this for me. Now, I know I wasn't big in the Helix world, like, you know what I mean? We've been doing Helix stuff for a while, but there was a lot of years where we didn't.
Yeah.
I know that when people think of Helix, they might think of Strabala or Sedites or the worst tutorial dudes, you know? But obviously, I see a ton more creators, you know, coming in and trying to do ToneX stuff right now. Seems like the bandwagon everyone's jumping on. Is this a sign of the times? Is ToneX number one?
I can't see how it wouldn't be.
Yeah.
It's the cheapest to get into
Right, 179
by a very wide margin.
Yes, yeah.
Even if you buy the biggest pedal available,
And even there's a free option for the software.
right. If you buy the biggest pedal, if you spend the most money possible on ToneX and then buy the Tone Junkie Everything pack, that's still cheaper than buying
Less than a Kemper.
That's still cheaper than buying
I think
just a Kemper.
I think it's
Yeah.
I think it's $50 less than the Kemper, or $100 less than the Kemper, or something like that. Right. Yeah, the Kemper.
And
small
if you
one.
if you get the
But if you buy a Tone Junkie loaded Kemper from British Audio, you get an everything pack with your purchase, no additional charge.
Was this episode sponsored? Oh, we lost all of our sponsorships.
We did.
Yeah.
they're still just us.
They're still just us.
Just to be clear.
Just to be clear, we're just sponsoring our own stuff. That's how this works. Yeah.
So
That's really interesting, though.
yeah, it's a really interesting thing, and you know, it tells me too we need to be doing a lot more ToneX stuff, and at least at equal measure, you know, with the Kemper stuff.
Yeah.
So that's what I've been trying to do lately. Is every Kemper release had a ToneX release to go with it. And,
I've been trying, in all the Metal Junkie profiles I've made, I've been really diligent to do all three platforms at the same time.
Yeah. Kemper,
So I dial in a
ToneX.
tone, I do it on the Kemper, switch over the Quad Cortex. I've spent a lot of time and money and effort into making that switch as easy as possible.
Yeah, right.
I have like a patch bay and like it's really simple to like move things over. But yeah, it's like ToneX and then Quad Cortex and then Kemper,
Yeah.
and then make sure that they all relatively sound the same.
Yeah.
And they usually do. So
Yeah, for me, ToneX was the product that it bridged the gap between like when the Iridium and the ACS1 came out. It was like, we're just giving you amps and they sound good, but they didn't sound as good to me as like the Kemper, like the other contemporaries at that time. But then Quad Cortex comes out and it's all in one. Helix, of course, has been there all in one. And I'm looking around going, okay, well, where was the evolution of just the amps like that the Iridium did and the Walrus did? And then the ToneX is saying, yeah, we're not all in one. We don't have all that other stuff, but you can add this to your board and it's going to sound way better than that Iridium did, or at least you're going to have more amp options. And to me, that was the sweet spot of like, I personally know so many guitar players that want to keep their effects. They're not interested in like a Kemper stage or a Helix. Like they want their stuff, but they can't play loud. So how do I go direct and keep all my stuff? It was only Iridium, maybe the UA ones, fit that, whatever.
Sure. Yeah.
But now you have the beauty of the Kemper is like the tens of thousands of things that you can choose from. And now you have that in a size of like a Ditto looper, you know what I mean? So I think that, like you said, how does that not go to the first spot, especially with all these new users going, Like a couple of my friends got the ToneX and they're like, I've never owned a digital amp in my life.
Right.
What do I go buy? That's why I think the sales are spiking, because you have brand new people to the market saying, what do I put in this?
Right.
How do I make this sound
Yeah,
good?
there's finally a product for people who've been sitting on that fence of like,
Yeah.
I don't want to fully switch over to everything in these platforms
Right.
because I like my timeline and my Big Sky.
Yeah.
But I also don't like the ACS1 or using a torpedo or whatever.
Totally.
And all of a sudden, it makes sense to do that.
Yeah.
It's pretty wild.
It's
pretty wild. We've been talking about this for months now.
Mm-hmm.
Like we've been hovering around the subject of like, as soon as the guitar tone doesn't need to also make the guitar loud, like the options are endless now, right?
Sure.
It's the like making it loud is the hard part. It has the most amount of energy required, therefore the most amount of electricity and space and heat dissipation and all of this. When you don't need to make it loud, it's like
just make it sound good.
you just make it sound good. It's like, yeah, of course it can fit in a Ditto looper. You know what I mean? Like, and that's the thing, because even like preamp pedals and all of that, right? It's like, but what's making it loud? And so you have to like figure out how those two things play into each other. Once you don't need anything to make it loud,
Yeah.
it's like now it's just the overdrive, like the preamp, like the amp section it's just another character EQ and compression. That's all it is.
Yeah.
There's really nothing that special about
Yeah.
the way it sounds.
Yeah, we just want it to feel familiar and respond how what we're kind of looking for. It's funny because we're still mimicking what those bigger machines did,
for sure.
and they function that way for the purpose of maybe making things louder.
Well, yeah, making it
like
loud was the priority.
That was the priority, and
the
then,
other stuff came. That's just it was just a byproduct
function
of
of it
what
getting
it took
loud.
to make
Yeah.
it loud.
Yeah, like the overdrive in a guitar amp is like largely not intentional. I mean, it becomes intentional,
Right.
But like it's like, how do I make this sound loud? And then there's a level at which you're like overloading a gain stage.
Yeah, I'm sure
and then it's like, oh, I like that.
I'm
I
sure
kinda
at some
like when it's a
point.
little
I'm sure at
overloaded.
some point, Leo Fender, when he was designing this thing, designed something that was probably reminiscent of like a high gain amp, right, on accident. And he's like, "Oh, I don't like that."
He might have apologized for it.
Yeah.
Hey, sorry,
Well, it's
this
true.
isn't getting louder. It's just
Yeah.
getting dirtier.
It's just doing this thing that's obviously
Yeah.
like it sounds like it's gonna blow up.
Well, you take a Fender 600, those little amps. I don't know if you remember those. These tiny little amps that they made. We'll put it on the screen here, but it's super old. They're like before Tweeds. They're called, and they had 6-inch speakers called Fender 600s. And yeah, if you put that on 10, it sounds like just like a cheap fuzz pedal.
Right.
It's very simple.
Right.
I think there's 112AX7 in there, and yeah, it's not all the things you love about an amp. It just is like becomes super dirty, but it's a functional little amp as long as you don't turn it up all the way.
right.
But they were trying to make things loud and so you could hear it over the drums, next to the drums. Then it was like, hey,
And
can
the
we put that
brass-
big
and the horn section
and the horn? Yeah, can we put that big bass? Can we get that big bass sound to come through one of these things too? And can we, do this or that? So it's interesting. I mean, obviously the ToneX is answering a lot of people's problems in terms of, now this easily integrates and it has all the sounds and I can sort of follow my favorite creators. Because, it's funny. I'd like to, not to call myself a bit of a tone Nostradamus here, but I remember saying.
Tone-stradamus?
Yeah, Tone Stradamus. I put that on my epitaph.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Tone Stradamus here. But look, I remember saying, I think the biggest misstep with UA is that there's nothing to download. And I think in the end of the day, that's true. Like, had they given us even just more to do, because I pointed out at the time, the problem with the Iridium and the problem with the UA stuff is this: there's not a lot to talk on the internet about. And that is what everyone's doing. Even stuff that you don't even need to talk about it on the internet. People are, you know what I mean? Like you can talk about everything on the internet. And so if someone gives you something,
they do.
but it has to
What's
be
your
something
tube
you
screener
can
setting?
Yeah. What's your tube screen? Yeah. I mean, all that stuff is there. But how do you combine this? What do you use for this? What do you blah blah blah? But when it's just like, how do you set up your one pedal to get your amp sound? And then there's some talk about IRs, but I don't think talk about IRs helps any one brand. It actually only reminds people that these IRs you buy work on everything, and they're just one of many.
Right.
So I don't think that helps anyone be a differentiator. I think the real weakness of the UA stuff, all of it, by the way, and I would tell them this, is that there is not a deeper editor that you can save settings and share them with other people and do stuff. And people might look at me and go, well, that's self-serving. You just wish you could make stuff. And sure, of course I do. But I also understand that, like, social media is so powerful that if you're not at least making it easy for people who use your product and are enthusiastic about your product to express that on social, you don't have a chance. Why make your job so hard? I sold boring men's apparel for years, workwear. No one wanted to talk about it. Everyone hates their job, hates their boss. They don't want to talk about the uniform they wear at work. No one's on Facebook going like, I wear those pants. They're good. Their belt loops are real nice. And there's some people who do something clever, like Duluth Trading Company. All their ads have like a guy with like you can see his butt crack.
Right.
It's like that's the funny part of it.
But that's the exception.
That's the exception, right?
Yeah.
And so you don't want to fight that. And so to me, it's like if you obviously have all these guitar players running around all these places online talking about your product. Give them something to do. Give them something. That was also my problem with Fender ToneMaster Pro. The sharing was just so terrible that it was like, I can't even say, hey, here's free stuff I've made. And I'll make free stuff for this so that maybe you'll buy my IRs. Right. I'm not even incentivized enough because you can't even find me on there.
Right.
Like there's no Tone Junkie page. There's no, and so it just, I think ToneX is really getting the benefit of, here is a way that anybody can make a guitar sound, very low barrier to entry. And for $179, you can play it on your end with your rig, with your stuff. The barrier to entry is so low. It's priced so competitive with every other pedal on your board.
Yeah.
What they really got right, I think, above everything else, you'd be hard pressed to find people who have multiple pedals on let me put it like this. You'd be hard pressed to find people who own a pedal board who have no pedals over 179. Like if you simply own a pedal board, no matter if it's 3 pedals on it, 10 pedals, you probably have pedals worth more than 179.
Unless you built a Joyo board.
Unless you put our Joyo board. Yeah. But see how that sounded? Terrible.
Good luck with that.
And so
that was my point.
We tried.
So the price is such.
It's hard to do.
The price is such that it's like, we're not even asking you to buy a premium board, a premium pedal for your board. It's like, this is one of the cheaper things you'll end up buying.
Well, the thing
is crazy.
The other thing too, and I think this is why Capture Tech, and to some degree, I think maybe tone matching is kind of in a similar thing.
Yeah.
But I think Capture Tech, the thing is, it's like, it's $179 to get this thing, and there is literally no limit to what it can sound like. It can sound like anything in the entire world, ever.
Whatever you want.
And so then it becomes like a hunt to find the one thing, the one sound that you've heard in your head forever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And I think that's why, owning these things is fun, because you're searching for those things. Mm-hmm. I think that's why making profiles for them is fun, because there's really no limit to what you can make. Even if you already have an amp, it's like, oh, well, now there's this new feature and we can redo the amp, and you know what I mean? And it's not even about selling it. It's about the discovery of the tone. Mm-hmm. It's a discovery, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And so I think that's the other part of it that is awesome, is that they figured out a way to do it cheaper than everyone else. Granted, though, it does less, right?
Sure.
Like, it's $179, but it doesn't, the Profire player does way more than
oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it could be a whole rig if you
want. It is it can be a whole rig if you want it to be. But anyway.
Yeah.
That's cool.
I think
turning
it's cool.
of the tide.
Yeah. There may be a real turning of the tide here. Have you guys heard about? I'll segue into this. Have you guys heard about the new NAM pedal? So we've been talking about ToneX. Everyone's up in the ToneX. Obviously, ToneX is surging in popularity because of this, the cheap ToneX pedal. There's a new NAM pedal from Dimehead Electronics.
Oh, that's real.
It's real, and it runs NAM.
It
and
exists.
I think and it also runs a reverb. Like there's also a reverb algorithm they built in, so you can have like reverb with your amp or something.
So it's their reverb, though.
Yeah, they built in the reverb, but you can run NAM, and you can turn it off, of course.
Okay.
And you can run your IRs as well. So a lot of people have been saying NAM, being free, is going to take off, and as soon as there's this new, a pedal, a way you can put on your pedal board, that's what's holding it back, and this whole open source thing. It's free. It's hard to train stuff, and by hard I mean it's not user friendly, and normal people aren't going to do it. But people make stuff available. There's a Tone Hunt. ToneHunt.org is a free website. You can download all these NAM things. NAM player's free, and now there's a pedal. You can take it with you. Now, I think they've only made 25. They shipped the first round, and now people have already pre-ordered, like the pre-order sold out. They shipped first 25. Now they're shipping more. It's a small operation. These are...
How much is it?
It's a great question. We'll put it on the screen here. I believe it's like 3. Let me look it up here while we talk. It's more expensive than the little ToneX, obviously. I don't know. What do you... It's hard to beat ToneX right now.
NAM is like NAM's a tough... All right.
You have thoughts.
I have thoughts.
Yeah.
I am no stranger to command line tools, running things on computers. I'm a software engineer. Have been for almost 20 years. SaaS companies. It took me a long time to make a NAM profile. Watching tutorials, and granted, this isn't my area of expertise. I'm not like a machine learning guy.
Yeah,
but man,
you like to think of yourself as a savvy computer.
I'm a savvy computer person. It took me a frustratingly long amount of time to get it to work. And when I did get it to work, I wasn't super happy or confident in the sound that I got out of it. And I don't know. Maybe it's the most accurate algorithm in the world, but there's a lot of...
How much is €595?
It's more than
$590.
Okay.
It's more than $600.
So
probably $700.
So that's what it's at.
That's a lot.
That's what it's at.
That is a lot.
Yeah. I mean, obviously they don't have scale on their side. I mean, they're making 25. They made the first 25. The price could come down. I mean, who knows? They could have this manufactured overseas at first or eventually.
I wonder what the hardware actually is, though.
Yeah.
Like what's inside of it.
Yeah.
That's crazy. But I don't know. I don't think NAM's... I think what NAM is going to do is allow other companies to do what ToneX is doing. Right? If you're not familiar with any of these tools, think of NAM as like what ToneX uses under the hood to make their stuff. That's all NAM is. It's a capture, it's a training technology. They don't do the capturing. You got to do that all yourself.
Yeah, you have to record your amp.
You have to
through a file they recommend.
Right. You have to figure out how to reamp a file they provide through your amp, capture the result, and then you upload the original and your capture to the thing, and then it spits out a thing that you download and then run in the NAM player.
It sounds complicated.
It is. And I'm glossing over a lot of it.
Right. That was the simple explanation.
That's the simple explanation. Right?
Oh, man.
Yeah.
And so it is really... I don't know. So anyway, why isn't... I don't know. I'm not very optimistic about that as a solution. I don't know. Maybe it'll be cheaper in the future.
Well, I think,
but
so what I see happening right now, where I think NAM is really getting some more traction, is more on the software side. And so 2 notes, just like so now you can play NAM stuff in the 2 Notes thing that came out. And so, you know, they're kind of making a big deal of that. They added NAM to something called MVAVE, or I don't know, some other software that people are using I've never heard of. So I don't know how many people are using it, you know. So what I think is you're going to see more companies that maybe would make a software like a 2 Notes, and now they're going to use NAM in there, and now you can make your own stuff and start sharing it. And I think for a company like 2 Notes, it's really smart to do that because you bring in NAM people. I do think it's going to be hard to keep them in the long term, but also I don't know how many people are fully like bought into this, like the NAM sort of world. I try to ask myself what's really appealing about it. And I think there's some sort of a like, you know, there's like this like rebel force, like fighting the empire kind of like vibe that I get from people, you know, it's like, it's open source and it's all these things. I think it's a great tool, but where I really think NAM is going to have legs is when a company takes it, uses the tech and builds a great product.
Yes.
And when I talked to Steve, I always got the opinion that was more his attitude as well. He pointed out like he's not a product guy, and NAM isn't a product.
Right.
And so he wants people to use it. And it felt like a lot of the users were more like, this is going to take out ToneX. Like they're just like, enjoy your success right now until NAM takes over everything. It's like, I don't understand that because
all of those people also use Linux.
Yes, I know, and that's it. It's like right, and they have Android phones and everything.
It's the Linux of capture tech.
Yes, and the proof's in the pudding, right? It's like
for sure.
It's one thing to be a Spotify user over an Apple Music user. It's another thing to.
Is that a diss on Apple Music people?
Yeah,
because I'm an Apple Music guy.
I think the playlists are better on Spotify.
It's not our fault that you.
I also want to say I think Spotify for a long time.
You're probably right though.
Spotify for a long time has also been very passionate about free speech. They don't censor people on their platform, and I don't just mean one guy in particular, but there's been several controversial people on their platform, and they've even told people. Remember when they had all these woke people in their company? They were like, "We need to get." The CEO just told them, "No,
right?
Like we're not."
I remember that.
We're not going to like take people off of Spotify because you don't like their podcast. Don't listen to it. Like, whatever.
Okay, you convinced me.
Do it now.
Yeah,
Just kidding.
Apple. Although, hey, I applaud Apple because when the FBI was like, or the CIA was like, give us the back door to unlock this phone.
They
were like, you don't understand. If we build in a back door,
Right.
we can't unbuild it. Like it could be exploited by anyone.
There you go.
Like if we make a keyhole, a key could fit in.
Even one that you don't intend.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Like
Especially those.
The only way to make sure no key works is to not have a hole for the key.
Yeah.
Don't put a way to unlock the door and it's a wall.
Totally.
You know?
Totally.
And so good luck. Obviously, what was the guy who then wanted to open it up?
I don't know.
McAfee? Joe McAfee?
Yeah.
Carl McAfee was his name?
No. I think
Joe McAfee, isn't it?
I don't know.
Yeah, he's dead now.
What is the other joke we used to say? Joe
Mazda,
Mazda.
who made the Mazda cars.
Some say that was our best joke.
Joe Mazda.
Joe Mazda.
Yeah.
He was the guy,
So Joe, it's got to be Joe.
That was
McAfee.
if people didn't prefer Elon Musk for the Teslas. If politically they weren't on Elon Musk side, they could go over to Mazda.
Joe Mazda.
Joe Mazda, very even keel guy, not controversial at
Super
all.
even.
You know.
Well, I think. Look, what I love about the NAM capture tech, and I'm on board. Look, I use open source software all the time. I've built a whole career using open source software.
Yeah.
What it does is it allows everyone to work with the same tools, right? I don't know how the Kemper works. I don't know how Quad Cortex works. And I can't know. I'm not allowed to know. But NAM is available to me, and I don't really know how NAM works either, but I can use it. And if I'm a product builder, I can use it, and now I can have capture tech too.
Yeah.
So it's just ingredients. No one goes around and is like critiquing like what kind of flour different restaurants are using, right? It's like you care about what they make with the flour.
Sure.
So that's what's going to take. It's not just a pedal. It needs to be like a whole... It needs to be a competing product of these capture products.
And I've always thought, like, we should do like a Tone Junkie plugin that has our 5 best amps with 5 IRs and go, here is the sound that you get on the Kemper, on the ToneX, on the Quad Cortex. Our amps, you can capture them multiple ways. and then just I guess blend between them or something. Just make, because there's people making plugins that are NAM powered plugins. Like here's 5 amps, and we've just replicated our 5 things, or even they're not even 5 amps. It's just something like our 5 amps. And that's kind of what Neural does, right? It's like we didn't give you every functionality of the amp. We just gave you like the thing, and here's my favorite channel. Here's the purple plexi, right? So you could go. Here's the
there's people doing this now. There's a lot of people doing this. There's a guy who there's a guy who makes a bunch of plugins called the One Knob plugins.
Yep, I'm familiar.
And they're like high gain stuff. They just came out with a Trivium pack, which is a metal band that's like been around for a long time.
Yeah.
And they sound great.
Yeah.
But it's like,
and what's the thing? They got one knob.
Yeah, it's like literally the plugin is like, it's just like it looks like a front of an amp, but it just has a gain knob.
One big knob, yeah.
Yeah, that's it. And like, it's not really. There's other stuff. You can load IRs, you can like reverb, you can do all these other things. But it's mostly just the one knob. But it's like, how do you make a plugin like that that's economical, that's not going to take forever? You know? And it's really more about the sound you put in it, not how you get that sound.
Exactly, yeah.
You know? And
so
that's the thing.
I almost wonder if it'll be more something like that. Will be a lot more like if 2Notes can release a pedal that runs NAM and has access to then their software that they sell now too,
right? And
so it has reverbs, has stuff. If someone kind of makes an ecosystem and then maybe they're licensing some products in there, maybe from like Electro Harmonics. So it's like now we have the official Electro Harmonics DMM thing or whatever or something like that. I mean, it feels like that would be a more, that would seem like a better product. Someone that's a little more invested in making the actual product the best product it can be.
Yeah. Getting it on your pedal board though is always going to be a challenge.
It is.
It is because you gotta basically have a VST player. Back to the other thing that we looked at too. It's like if you could if someone could make a generic VST player that was the size of a little ToneX.
And then here we are again.
And it was like there's no screen, there's no nothing. It's just a little simple interface, and you put VSTs on there. Yeah. And it's like VST presets. That's it. Right. There's no adjusting, no nothing.
Right.
That would be a killer product.
That would be a killer product. I'd buy that product. I tried to buy that product. It's still not out yet.
Right.
I pre-ordered it.
Pre-order.
It's still not out. Last I heard, they were making that product better. It was, what did they call it? It was the...
I don't remember.
Octave. Something. I got a video on it. There's a video back there.
Not a good sign.
All right. Good segue. Suze, there's more comments, isn't there?
Oh, yeah. We got the lovely people that watch this podcast have left us
they watch
ideas.
this podcast.
Yeah.
They watch.
Hi, Curtis.
we have to say hello.
Hey, Curtis.
Okay, so we did that one. Well, this one, he wants to know about just gear reviews, even if it's not new releases, older products that people still use. I don't know if that's like we actually should have the
older products people still use.
He's just talking about general gear reviews. I like this.
He
pedal.
wants more of them.
Yeah, I mean we talked about like pedals we like, that kind of stuff.
So this is a conversation that actually we can have. This will make a great clip since we're always trying to make clips out of these things. We've got 2 clips in the episode already. What a successful episode!
Doing great.
We've got the ToneX. You don't have to cut this out, Suze. You've got the ToneX. See, just let people behind the scenes. I always think if we do these podcasts, they're great to listen to long form. But there's also these little things you can pull out, and that's why you see these going up on the channel. So we've got this NAM pedal in this one.
Yeah.
And then we've also got ToneX outsells a Kemper, right? So I'll go on there and I'll go, is ToneX the new king of modeling? People go, ooh. Because then some people are going to go, ooh, I don't like ToneX. I'm going to click on this.
Right.
Other people are going to go, yeah, I bought a ToneX. I want to feel better about myself.
Right.
We
should make like a whole path. There's a guy that made a coin toss path on YouTube where you like flip, or you played paper, rock, scissors with him. But it was all in videos. It's like, if you lost this, click on this video. And it was like this whole thing. Took him forever. Wow. Anyway, we should do that, but it's like, are you here to hate watch this video? Or are you here because you actually...
hate watching is an interesting thing.
That would be fun.
Right? It's like really just get some demographics here about who's hate watching stuff. All right.
So this will make another thing.
Well, the other one was someone wants to know about industry information. So I don't know if that means like music industry or like recording or like
What was
I
that?
mean, Tone Junkie industry, but
Was there any other context? Was it under
it was
another?
there was the third one in the list they were asking.
I really
for.
appreciate everybody bringing their topics too. By the way,
Yeah,
keep
bring 'em
adding your
on.
topics. We love it.
We want to talk about the stuff you
Wait,
guys
did
want
we
us
do
to.
the joke? We didn't do the joke in the last episode.
We didn't.
You're gonna have
We
to
gotta
do
do it
both
right
in
now.
this one. By the way, it says when you can. Industry info is super interesting. That's all it says.
Oh, interesting.
I feel like.
Do they mean apparel industry?
I feel like. I mean, maybe people think that we're more connected to this industry than we actually are, but I feel like we do that.
Yeah. There's some
I
of
feel
that.
like
the
when
gear
I
industry.
feel like when we're able to, we talk about industry stuff,
Right.
almost ad nauseum.
Yeah,
That's probably true.
and that's from RJSCHA. RJ
RJS CHA.
CHA.
Well, I appreciate the comment.
Yeah, that's pretty
that's
great.
great.
I feel
Yeah,
like
man.
maybe we'll try to up our game a little bit.
Yeah.
We'll have to do that. Here's guitar joke of the week.
Oh,
What is P Diddy's favorite guitar chord?
Oh no, that's got.
can I think about it for a second? P Diddy.
P Diddy's
What are some of
favorite.
his favorites or famous songs, John? I know that's your genre.
Sue's your.
You're
Am I
thinking about it
overthinking
wrong.
it.
It's something
P.
to do with
Diddy.
the D.
D,
No.
D minor.
It's A minor.
Oh god,
Oh gosh.
so bad.
So you guys aren't keeping up with the P Diddy stuff?
No, I am. That's
No.
why I thought it was going to be bad.
It's A minor.
I'm not, but I don't think I want to know
You
the
don't.
whole story.
I don't think anyone knows the whole story, and I think everyone's pretty weirded out by
Is
everything.
he a
I mean-
rapper?
Yeah.
Is
Yeah.
he like a
I mean,
famous
I
rapper?
never liked P Diddy's music, so I already didn't like him.
What is a P Diddy song? What's one of those?
You know that one he sampled from Sting when I'll Be Missing You?
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Dun, 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 dun,
Yeah,
dun,
also the
dun.
one he sampled from Jimmy Page. What was the song for Godzilla when that came out?
Cashmere.
Yeah, but he didn't call it Cashmere. He called it.
Of course not.
Terrible movie, pretty good soundtrack.
Yeah,
Had like
yeah.
Green Day or whatever was on there, and they had like
Yeah.
some other.
Yeah, he also did some stuff with Mace later on. Mace became a pastor. He became apparently some sort of a celebrity.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I don't know.
strange.
Yeah, it's real strange. Okay, so that was the joke of the week. I
Well, okay,
apologize.
so
Maybe I should have got a better
We were
joke.
talking about like gear, like if we should bring. The joke went by already.
Do you want another one? Do you want another corny one?
I mean,
Listen?
a
What's
funny one would be good. I'm just kidding. No, I'm not.
what's the chord that
I don't know.
David played to please the Lord?
A minor,
No,
It was a secret chord.
D minor.
no.
We don't know.
Jesus.
Jesus. I like that one.
Was that funny
That's
for
a
you?
better one.
Okay.
I
That
definitely
is
had to
easy.
bring it back.
That one
We had to-
doesn't make me sad.
Yeah, we had to bring it back. We had to bring it back.
The other one made me sad.
Yeah.
And Jesus.
I think Diddy has admitted to some wrongdoing, and he's apologized for some stuff, which now makes people realize, oh, this is good. Like he knew he was caught,
yeah.
and now he's trying to, So
Jesus. I like that.
It's a good one.
Hard to play a Jesus. Maybe not.
All right, but
There you go.
the gear one I thought was interesting, like stuff we would like to use. You know.
yeah. So
Go ahead.
the stuff. Okay, so we try to make these gear videos.
Let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it. We try to make these. Here's some industry knowledge, some
yeah.
industry
Yeah,
stuff.
we're getting all that.
and some gear stuff. So
Yeah.
this is both
Here you go.
comments. in
So
one.
pedals we like.
We've been trying to make more stuff like pedals we like. We've been doing these pedals we like videos. You know, we've been listening to people will be vocal and they'll go, we want like more guitar reviews. Tell us more about this Trini Lopez. We'll do this. You know, we even did like a video on the double neck, which by the way, people say, I want to hear more double neck. It's actually the intro. You've
already heard it.
You hear it every time.
You're hearing it every time. First thing. We're double neck front and center.
Yeah.
Also, I'm not even going to call out for any clips, but we've also been featuring clips of the double neck.
Wow.
But we've been trying to make videos because my thought is this: what's the point of making videos? You know, I guess the point of this thing is to sell some stuff, right? That's got to be the point.
That's one point.
Yeah, you know, I mean, let's not pretend anyone's stupid. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'll let the politicians like do that for us. we you know, this is whether you believe it's good or bad, this is capitalism. Whether you believe it's early or late stage or whatever. It's You know what I mean? Everyone's trying to make a buck. I'd appreciate if people bought stuff. If they don't, whatever. If you watch, great. Sometimes you make some money on the watchers.
Yeah.
You know, not a lot, YouTube, but it's appreciated. So obviously we sell stuff, okay? And so we've had a lot of conversations around here about, well, what other content should we do? We don't want the content to be too like just salesy and it'll get boring. You know, so you want to be entertaining, and this is about guitar friends, you know, and a lot of this stuff has never really been very pointed with like a business purpose. Like if we talk about, you know, should you play it in church, they'll buy it doesn't really connect. It's a very loose thing, right? So, but you know, you just do some stuff for fun, right? And this podcast,
basically, we've been having these conversations for years and years and years.
Forever.
We just decided to turn cameras
might as
on.
well
we
make
just put
it a-
those things on, and now you're here.
And
Now
so-
you're here with us.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all that's changed.
Yeah,
So-
this is lunch for us, basically.
lunch.
really, we always do these after lunch,
Right.
And this is what
We
we
usually say at lunch, we need to stop talking about this because we're
say.
going to be on a
We say
podcast.
save it for the podcast.
Save it
Yeah.
for-
Imagine the stuff you missed while we were at lunch. We had some good stuff at lunch. Anyway, keep going.
Sorry.
Pedals we like.
So, you know, we started to do stuff like pedals we like, right? And I go, Suze, let's just do a video series called Pedals We Like. There's pedals we like, and that's the only point of the video. Here's a cool pedal we like.
Right.
Right? And I thought it would be cool to, this old overdrive, this cool chorus, this whatever.
And
Stuff
you
that-
have cool stuff.
I have some cool stuff, and I even went and bought some more cool stuff. And I was like, I remember I had this reverb, and it was great. Bought a couple old Japanese choruses and this obscure thing, and well, there's some of the worst performing videos on the channel. They're just bad.
Nobody
true.
wants to watch them.
Nobody wants to watch them, and so I go like, okay, well,
And it's not because you're playing badly.
no.
it's not
One guy
because-
called me a redneck.
Yeah, one guy
so,
said, why don't you get this like, why don't you get instead of this redneck, someone who can actually play guitar? I don't know
Who's
if you
this
know
hack? About me?
Yeah,
I was
about
like,
you.
that's hurtful.
Now I watched the video, and I
can
thought,
hear you.
I thought,
Also, like, you're a freaking legend.
no,
So-
it's
no,
it's
you
kind
are.
of true.
I mean,
It's kind of true.
yeah.
Suze is well loved on the internet.
It is true.
We know a lot of really, really great, successful guitar players that have said many kind things behind his back that I'd never say to his face.
Exactly.
And
That's very kind of you.
you're welcome.
Yes.
And you know, they all you can tell when someone picks up a guitar in just a couple seconds,
Yeah.
if they can play or not, right? You know,
Oh, for
you can
sure.
just tell a note or two. But I remember the video he was doing. It was just, I think it was like you were just playing like a couple chords. It
Yeah.
might even been like the intro of like a song or something, like,
Right.
and it was like, here's on and off.
Yeah.
And we were kind of just showing how you can cut mids or whatever. You know, a real short clip. You know, it doesn't need to be Yngwie Malmsteen. You know what I mean? Just to show how to add a little sparkle
Please
to it.
don't be in
Right,
there.
right. Maybe better if it's not.
And so it's like the industry speaker is like for people who want to know like the behind the scenes. You know, it's like you want to not like bow to this like, oh, we got to get more views and we got to do this, but then you kind of make stuff that like maybe is artistically more true or fun or just like for the general commonwealth of YouTube guitar world, and 400 people watch it, and you go, well, you know, when I make like jokes about you know, R. Kelly and wear a bathrobe, I get 3,000 to 5,000. So obviously,
Right.
people don't want to see me talk
Oh
about
man, I
guitar
miss
pedals.
I miss Bathrobe HW.
Bathrobe guy. He's been gone for a while.
He's been
Well,
gone. He
Life, got in
he
the way.
was the one where he threw the muffin. Was that the final one?
It's the I mean, who says it's final?
I think we
don't
can all
know.
agree he needed a break after that. Like that was I put him past the edge.
Throwing a muffin
really
at the camera
affecting
is
him.
really a
Yeah.
turning point.
Yeah, we could all see the decline. You know? Yeah.
All right. I think this Saturday he should come back though.
Right. We thought about bringing some pedals we
Yeah.
like content into the podcast because we're already
Yeah.
sitting around talking about guitar.
Yeah.
Could we do 10 minutes on the Chroma console and just plug it in and
Yeah.
say, hey, this is what that does?
But apparently, we got a score of fans that don't want to hear about guitar. They're already
know.
upset about this. And by the way,
know.
just for those people, the whole last episode, I don't think we mentioned guitar once.
I think you played guitar and talked about Metal Junkies.
Well, we
but
talked about
we talked about
we talked about
bands we were in. Does that count?
Okay, I stand corrected, but
Yeah.
you know, you got enough of
There
an
was a
intro
ton
there.
of not guitar.
There was a ton of not.
Yeah.
We talked about
But mostly guitar.
the point is, It's funny because I would like to make more stuff, but about the gear. But the truth is, I've seen no less than 12 very high quality guitar channels pop up that are really just about check out this cool thing, or here's like for the love of the instrument. If you want to see a good channel, go look at Carter Vintage and look how unsuccessful their YouTube channel is compared to what a widely known business is and what they have.
Right.
They're obviously a business that started a YouTube channel and it's niche content, but it's not like that has taken off like that pedal show or like Anderton's or like whatever.
Right.
And look, that's what Anderton's does. Obviously, maybe those guys are just more likable than us. Maybe we could fake British accents. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you could stop being such a hack on the guitar and actually learn to play like.
I've actually been
practicing.
faking an American accent this whole time.
Wouldn't that be
It's really
something?
convincing.
Wouldn't that be something?
Dang, that would be so awesome.
Wouldn't that be amazing?
I think.
What would be the actual accent? Like if you were to reveal right now, what it was like
I don't know.
Australian.
Like a Cockney kind of.
yeah, like where'd you grow up?
Gosh, no.
Like a New Zealand.
Wouldn't it be great if it was like if I had grown up in Japan or something?
Can we each choose
Something
an
you didn't
accent?
see coming.
Something totally.
Yeah.
I'm sick. Can we each choose an accent and continue the podcast in an accent?
No,
I,
no.
I absolutely choose Chinese.
I don't think that's a good idea.
Well, this has been episode 35. I've been Suze.
This may also have been the Guitar Friends podcast entirely.
You're right. Yeah. Oh my
No,
gosh.
I think. What was I gonna say? You were about to say.
That was, we were distracting you.
Oh, I think. Okay. I think that what was cool about that pedal show, and I haven't watched that in a very long time, but for a while I was watching religiously.
Everyone, I think, yeah. It felt like I didn't know anyone who didn't watch in those first 20 episodes.
Yes.
It just like came out of nowhere.
It came out of
This is the
nowhere,
greatest thing.
massively popular. It was great. And what I liked about them was that they were, you could tell they just really loved these things. They loved the tones, and they wanted to explore the different aspects of them. It worked for them, and it's not worked for a bunch of other people. You know what I mean?
Yes. And Anderson,
And so,
yeah.
And I feel like maybe what people are asking, they're like, but that pedal show now is different than it was when it started. Do you know what I mean? And maybe they're more popular, maybe they're less popular.
They're probably a lot more popular.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But the thing is
But
like,
I know what you mean. I don't watch as religiously. I watch now, but I don't watch every one. I remember it was weekly viewing for me in those first. Because it really felt like there was nothing like it. And it was so educational up front.
right.
And there was something really... I don't even want to like say, I know what it's like being a creator and you're making something, you're putting like a lot of effort into it. I don't even necessarily think there's anything more special about those early episodes other than we hadn't seen it before.
Right.
Now, I mean, it is possible to sort of, there to be an amount of saturation that exists on your own. I think they've made so much stuff now, and some of the content has to change. They can't keep doing what is chorus, what is flanger. And those were the early episodes, and they were great. And, now I do watch sometimes when I'm interested, and it's like, here's the PRS horse meat overdrive. If you're not really that interested in the horse meat overdrive, that's a real overdrive. I'm not kidding.
God, that's a terrible name.
Are you sure?
That's what the episode's about. Paul Reed Smith is on it. He goes on to show them the
He
pedal.
made it.
It's his name.
It's a clone. And when you realize that, you realize that's actually an amazing name for the pedal.
Horse
It
meat.
really
Horse
is.
meat overdrive.
That's actually great.
It's great.
Hats
Wow.
off to you, Paul.
That's
Yeah.
a great
I know
move.
Paul watches this. Hats off to you.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
He does.
For sure. But it's...
But what I
Yeah,
think
go ahead.
I think what might be happening though is people want that. They're like nostalgic for, when things started, and I think it's just noisy. If you maybe
So much gain.
if you turn down the gain, maybe. But I think it's like people just want, like, because then what happens too is like people find that pedal show for the first time. Maybe they found it recently, and then they can go start
binge
over.
it, yeah.
They can binge the
1,000
whole
episodes.
thing,
Yeah.
and it's like then they run out of it, and they're like, "Oh, I want more of that."
Yeah.
And it's like, well, I don't know. They just it's hard to like.
And they have their episodes that don't perform, and they have their
For
stuff
sure.
that nobody cares about or whatever, but they do it for them. I mean, a lot of, I think what's interesting is about what you're saying, and something I learned when I started coming and working more was, why make this video? Why make this video? There's like categories of videos, and it's like, I think one of the best things you did was the tips and tricks. Kemper 101. I mean, that's so smart, saying like, look, you just bought your Kemper, you don't know how to use it. Let me show you, because I want you to know how to use it. That's it. Full stop. And once you know how to use it, you buy stuff, then great. But like, I think there was an actual desire to help people with their new piece of gear, which is so cool, So then it's like, what are we best at? Like, where's our lane? You know what I mean? I think obviously talking about digital amp solutions, I mean, that's like right in the center of our target, you know what I mean? And so maybe that's what my thought was about the pedals, was like, people don't know to come to us for pedal content. They know that pedal show, they know the GHS show, like that, those types of things. But it's like, if that's not hitting, and maybe if we did it a lot more, people might start to know, they've actually got some good reviews on there.
I've even thought if we started a channel called Pedals We Like, it very easily communicates to people, this channel is just pedals that
Guess
we
what
like.
we talk about.
Yeah, pedals we like.
Yeah.
And I thought maybe we just start another channel, and once a week we put up a pedals we like video, and it is this exact format we did, and we just go,
I bet it would perform better over
I bet it would
That is
perform.
interesting.
And the reason too, because here's the other thing about YouTube, like for the industry thing. The worst thing you can do on YouTube is put up a video that your audience does not like. It communicates to YouTube, this is a bad video. The algorithm doesn't make a sort of any determination about your content other than the engagement. So, meaning if you give YouTube a video, and this video is the best video ever, and if they just served it to a completely different audience, it would take off and have 10 million views. That will never happen, because the people who are getting your videos first are the fans who watch your stuff religiously and are most likely to watch it. So if you depart from your core content, YouTube is designed to punish you. It's designed that if you've always done this type of video and this is what people come to you for, and you go, I want to just make a little change in my content and try something new. And if that does not appeal to that core audience, it's going to show to the core audience, it's going to go, not good work. We're not showing this to other people. But vice versa, if it appeals to your audience, it'll start to get shown to other people and like persons.
That rewards you, basically.
Yeah. And so it's hard to do a sharp left turn. It has to be something that really appeals. And that is why there's been a lot of YouTubers that start channel 2. They do a second channel. You see that? They do it because they want to do some other content, or they, like us, identify, hey, I could make videos easier if I didn't put so much time into this and that and this. And sometimes people tell me they just want me to talk. They want me to be more long form, less edited, more, or I want to do lives, but I don't want to put it on my main channel. And that's where you get like, Mr. Beast having 4 or 5 channels. Yeah. And
I see a lot of people.
He breaks up the type of content. Beast Reacts, Mr. Beast, Mr. Beast Philanthropy, Beast Gaming. Because not everyone who watches, my wife's never going to watch a Beast Gaming video unless we tell her it's really funny. My kids want to see it all the time. He also wants to get in front of those Minecraft kids, but they're not necessarily going to click on his recreation of Hunger Games or Squid Games. So we could do a separate, and maybe that's the thing we do, where we go, we're still going to film it, but one day a week we're going to upload to the other channel, and it's the Pedals We Like channel. And I'm going to brand it. I'm going to put Tone Junkie on there, but I'm going to put Pedals We Like and then put Tone Junkie real small underneath. And then people just know that's what it is. And maybe that gets us a bigger audience.
Yeah.
And there's no drawback to doing it. Maybe I just decided as I'm talking about it that would be a great idea.
I think that's a great
I don't think I've really thought about it
in real time.
You literally have nothing to lose. Those videos do not perform well on this channel and don't move the needle in any way. So you have nothing.
Yeah, the only thing we have to lose is the time it takes and stuff.
Yeah.
And
but the thing is that the
reason. Can I take this real quick?
I'm sure.
This is a guy. Hey, Matt. Okay, you're the first call ever to the Guitar Friends podcast. Do you want to say hello?
Hello, guys.
Hello.
Hey, Matt.
How's everybody doing today?
We're doing great. Matt, congratulations. We've been talking about having callers on. It's not Matt Revere. It's Matt Simon. He knows you,
Hello.
Suze.
Hey, Matt.
Hey, guys. You know what I'm working on this week?
What's
Please.
that?
Yeah.
Finding some songs that I can lead singing and play lead guitar on with no other guitars. How exciting is that?
Interesting.
Dude, I'll tell you, I did that for years, and
I've seen the videos.
yeah, you've seen
I've
the
seen the video proof.
I think what you got to go with small chord voicings like triads and embellishments, you know.
Hey,
And
that's pretty much all I know anyway.
That's all you, yeah.
That's
you
all
gotta-
I do all the time.
You got to go with the stay away from the cowboy chords and go up there. Really hammer the songs, learn the thing.
You know, I feel like 20 years ago the answer to that question though was completely the opposite. It was straight power chords while you're singing, and then solos when you're not playing.
Right.
You know, when you're not playing the power chords, you're just soloing, right?
That's how John does it. That's how John Mayer does it.
He's a legend.
Hey, Matt, let me tell you a guitar joke. It's not one we've heard before. Don't worry. These guys think I'm going to tell you a dirty joke again, but I'm not going to. What's the difference between a rock guitarist and a jazz guitarist?
I have no idea.
A rock guitarist plays 3 chords to hundreds of people. A jazz guitarist plays hundreds of chords to nobody.
I was going to say 3 people.
That's exactly right. I was going to say, if he's playing it to 3 people.
Right.
He's got the whole
That might be the end.
Why didn't you say that one earlier?
Well, I don't know. That would have been
That
funny.
was the best one so
They
far.
all, everyone's
Yeah,
saying
yeah.
that was a
That
better
was the
joke.
best joke so far.
Right.
Well, dude, are you looking for actual songs that you can like play the lead and do the? You're like
Yeah,
hunting
of
for
course.
ones that are not so.
I've got a list of. Let me check 1 so far.
Do we know any? This is a very like.
Can you clarify what he's asking?
He needs to play lead guitar, but he also needs to sing. He has no lead guitar player, so he kind of
No,
needs some.
let me refresh that.
Yeah.
There's no other guitar player. Period.
No other guitar player.
There's no-
So he's trying to play like.
guitar player, there's no bass guitar.
He's trying to sing the song and play electric stuff
For church.
for church.
Okay.
So he's kind of like, what has something that's not so difficult to play that I can sing and play the more lead stuff?
Something like, do you want to hear my list? So
Yeah, let's
far?
hear your list. Yeah.
This is big brain. I have 1 song on the list. You've already won. That's the list. That's the
Right,
list.
because the big lead
Big
part
hook.
comes, big hook,
Right.
and then you're singing and it's all,
How about Cornerstone?
and-
Oh yeah, Cornerstone is pretty like liturgical, you know, and then you can,
Clear lead line, and then you sing.
yeah. That's true. Also, what's that Brooke Fraser song, the big one?
Hosanna?
I was gonna say King of Kings.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
Because it's got da 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 da, and then it goes right into it,
Yeah.
and you can get away with some big
that's a
cowboy chords on that one too.
That's a good one.
Yeah, that's a good one. Just change the key down to the thing there.
Well,
You know,
I changed the key down to all of them.
yeah. Do you guys do that one? Oh Jesus, Jesus, you make the darkness tremble.
Tremble.
Gee, Tremble, that's a song. There you go.
We do not. I know that one.
Yeah, if you know, that has no lead on it. There's like
Right.
no lead. That's like
It's got a little hook. It's got
yeah.
it's got a hook.
I don't remember that song that well, but that could work.
Yeah. I just started. Listen, I got 5 days to figure this out. So,
Yeah, you got time. What's going on with GME, man?
bro, I was gonna ask what year it is. I heard supposedly E-Trade's about to kick off old Roaring Kitty.
They're gonna kick
Did
him
you see
off?
that?
No.
Yeah, just broke, just on the live interwebs.
Oh my gosh.
I know.
I thought this was a
They
free
don't-
country, Matt. I thought if you just
I know.
liked the stock, you could buy it.
Well, here's the important rules that you need to understand.
Mm-hmm.
If you're Speaker of the House,
Mm-hmm.
who's been in charge for decades,
Mm-hmm.
and you're trading based on inside information,
Mm-hmm.
A-okay.
A-okay.
If you're some person that's not actually making a statement of endorsing or disendorsing, and you have no inside information, but if you post a picture to an anonymous social media platform,
Right. You can't do that.
not okay.
Not okay.
Not okay.
Not okay.
So that's the line.
That's. It's actually strangely topical with what we've been talking about, but. Okay, maybe we should make this a weekly thing where Matt can fill us in on the markets.
calls
we
in
just
on the
call.
podcast.
Yeah, just call
my
in
gosh.
and fill us in on the markets. All right, dude, we're gonna jump back into what were we talking about?
Episode 35.
Episode 35. How YouTube hates us. But that,
I'll watch it. I'll watch it and comment.
all right, dude. Good chat with you. I'll call you later.
Goodbye, guitar friends.
Lace, dude.
See you, Matt.
Matt is a longtime friend, and he of course knows all of us.
Listener of the pod.
Yes.
Our first call-in.
Our first call-in.
Yeah.
How serendipitous.
If only you would have had the
Well, that would have been weird. It would have been him
The
through
pink-
two phones.
the pink phone. Yeah.
We might not have heard.
phone
He would have
into a
sounded like
phone.
he was taking our order at Taco Bell.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, sure. What can I get you today?
No,
Do
it's
that?
this. This is it.
Will you be using the McDonald's app today?
How come they ask that all the
Why
time?
did they ask that?
Will you be using the
I
McDonald's? app?
never have before. I'm not doing it today.
It's like no.
At McDonald's, they
Yeah,
asked
it's like
us?
I know nothing
All
about
the
your app.
time.
Don't want to know about it. Can I
They're
have?
instructed to say it.
They're
you guys.
pushing it on us.
They're pushing it. Also, my friend Matt told me that if you do order through the app, you can get like 2 McChicken sandwiches and a Diet Coke for like $3. So maybe download it.
Wow.
It's kind
So
of
you would order on the app, you would drive up, you would answer that question, yes, I'm using the app, and then just keep driving
and then I
forward?
think you do the same thing at Taco Bell, and it's like you get good stuff.
Never heard of any
Guys,
of
I
this.
haven't eaten Taco Bell for like a month, and I think that's a record.
Really?
that's
Is that
not-
a record?
That's a bummer.
I saw they have these giant Cheez-Its right now.
God,
It
I
might
saw
look-
it on TikTok.
that looks
They're-
terrible.
It looks awful.
I'm gonna eat it.
I'm an enjoyer.
I want to be clear.
I'm gonna be honest. Taco Bell's pretty tasty. It's,
Are you gonna
it's awful
hate
food,
eat
but
it? You're like, I know it's not going to be good.
I
Right.
think you know how Chipotle's going through this thing, like the decline of Chipotle, how all the portion sizes are going down, and the internet's calling people out about it. And they're
Never
like, "Why are
heard
you
of it.
giving me this? Like, why? You know?" Because people are kind of
Shrinkflation.
looking. Yeah, they're looking at the
I've heard
employees.
of that.
They're looking at the employees, and they're like, "You're not paying for that chicken out of your pocket. How about you just make me a big burrito?"
Right.
And the CEO goes on television. He's like, "No, we're not going down." And then people are like posting their burritos, like little burritos. It's like, it's definitely these are not as big as they were 2 years ago. You know,
Interesting.
That could be. I don't know.
I think it's a lack of quality control, and I think it's more
Yeah.
indicative of the fact that everything's super expensive, and the workers who are working at these restaurants now, no offense to anyone, are literally now people who cannot get any other job.
No, that's what I was going to say.
And it used to be that a place like Chipotle could hire someone at $16.50, and they had their choice of a lot of different candidates.
Right.
And now they're posting jobs, and at $16.50 or whatever, they're like, "Are you breathing?
Right.
Great. Welcome to Chipotle.
Yeah, yeah, you're
a
hired.
team member.
Yeah, yeah.
Right. and then they just lay on all this, corporate speak, which then really comes down to, which is really terrible for the economy, because all it does actually is,
I'm looking something up. I'm not ignoring you.
all it does is mean there's only going to be two types of restaurants: family-run restaurants that are run by the family and not by other people, and large corporate chains that excel in training. So the reason Starbucks is still the best they've ever been, they have the best food I think they've ever had. They have the best drinks they've ever had. They have the best promotions they've ever had. And I think you can't shake a stick at Starbucks. Everything is great at Starbucks. I don't think you can think back to a time when Starbucks was better than it is right now. They have a wide, great menu, more delicious stuff on the menu.
I can think back to a time when it was more affordable.
Yeah, sure, more affordable.
But-
but those breakfast sandwiches, it hasn't been a time like, remember their old ones were better.
Coffee's still good.
Coffee's still good. They got all sorts of, olive oil infused, this and that. It's because Starbucks' core competency, the thing they're better at than anyone else, is training. They can train people who don't know anything about coffee to come in, learn and understand 50 different drinks, how to operate a $30,000 microwave, and how to make sure a car doesn't sit for more than 45 seconds in one spot in the drive-thru.
Yeah.
And once you do those, you can, if you are great at that, you can replicate that
Yeah.
everywhere. And that's what they do better. And that's why you go to Chipotle, and sometimes the burrito sucks and sometimes it doesn't. It's because they're not that great at training every single person to do the exact same thing across the country.
Right. Well, there's that, but there's also, I just watched this video this morning. It was YouTube recommended it to me. It sounded interesting. There's a science fiction writer from this video is from the 80s. His name is Isaac Asimov. It's he was like kind of a prolific.
Yes.
I'll be
writer.
shocked, but I've read his book.
Yeah.
Have you?
Yeah, I know him.
So he was like this video I watched was from 1982, and it was like he was introduced as like a futurist, right?
Yes.
So in 1982, they're like, the computer is.
Could you just pause for 1 second?
Yeah.
You know Isaac Asimov, but not software as a service.
100%.
It's like the cross section is so crazy.
It's wild. That's why it blows my mind.
But why?
It's really nuts.
Why do I know Isaac Asimov?
I don't know. I'm asking.
From film stuff? Yeah.
What was
movie?
it?
What movie?
iRobot.
Oh, because he wrote the book
He wrote
about
the book.
iRobot.
And I love that movie. And
I
I was like,
see.
what? But that's the connection.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
So
okay.
that leads precisely into what he was
Yes.
talking about.
Yes.
They were asking him, that, hey, 1982 has been a big year for the computer. Like, we're seeing computers in all these new areas now. Like, what do you think, Mr. Asimov, of, what's going to happen in the future? And he said, look, robots aren't going to be these scary things like we thought they were. These like soulless humanoid things. Although they kind of are. But
Sure.
he basically was
My
saying...
chat GPT is very polite, and I feel like a real kinship to it.
Right,
It's really helping me work on a lot of
you were showing me
stuff.
stuff earlier. It looks crazy.
It's like part of the team.
Right. But he was saying, look, as technology advances, it's not going to steal human lives. It's going to steal human jobs. And it's going to be up to society to treat or take care of or find jobs for people who we can't train to work at these higher level jobs.
You're talking about the Democrats. Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry, go ahead. The thing is, it's such a joke now.
I know.
That we're Trump supporters. I don't want to let it go.
Right.
I don't want to put it down.
That's fine. That's
I
fine.
do want to disclose I've never voted for Donald Trump once. Anyway, go ahead. Kanye, I have.
Did he run for office?
He did, and Tennessee was one of the few states he made it on the ballot. Apparently, it's pretty easy to get on the presidential ballot in
Did
Tennessee.
he campaign?
Mostly like tweets.
He's also, have you seen the latest stuff from him? He's like off the rocker completely.
Yeah, this
now.
was all pre that.
Right.
I voted for him.
Is he really?
Later, he became an anti-Semite and said a whole bunch of things
Yeah,
about
yeah.
Jews and stuff, which I do not support.
Right.
However, I did vote for him, and I'm not embarrassed of that. I think it's where we were at as a country. I don't apologize for
I think
it.
very many people voted for worse people.
Absolutely.
Remember in 2016? I remember this actually. Remember Harambe, the gorilla?
Yeah, he got a
Was
lot.
that the one with the kid and the?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they killed him, and then
Yeah.
everyone was like, justice.
Well, they
remember the-
shot the gorilla because he
Oh,
The
gorilla
kid went.
died,
Yeah,
not
the kid
died.
went
Okay.
into the gorilla thing somehow.
It's not Russia. They didn't shoot the
Yeah.
kid.
I thought you said he killed him. Like the
No,
gorilla
sorry. They
killed him.
killed the.
Oh.
Yeah, those people at the zoo killed this gorilla because they were afraid he was going to murder this kid.
Well, yeah, and it
and then
looked like
everyone was like, justice for Harambe.
Yeah,
and then Harambe got a bunch of
he
votes
did get a
for
bunch of
president
votes.
that
They
He
got
did not.
yes,
He
no,
did
people
not.
got him. Yeah, and the
Enough
thing was
to move the needle. Like people like
They
started
wrote him
counting
in.
him.
they wrote him in. But the thing about Harambe too is
Wow.
you know
gorilla.
He's
I
not
think-
even alive.
no. And he's not a human. No mention. Was he a natural born citizen? Was he born somewhere else? A lot of times,
Right.
you know, they'll ship gorillas in and stuff. We don't know where he's born.
sure.
Also, what
Show
was
me the birth certificate.
what was really sad? What was really sad
Can I
about
be clear? Are we
Harambe?
leaving this in? I'm just,
Yes, this is it. This is it. For when you edit, this is all in. I don't mind if it's it. The Harambe thing was especially sad too because all the experts and even just I think lay people could look at it and see Harambe was kind of trying to protect the kid. It was a gorilla who saw that this infant Homo sapien was
Right.
in trouble.
Right.
And he started doing what he would do to protect the child. But baby gorillas are far more robust than baby humans.
It could take a lot more like.
And so also people then trying to get into his habitat to save the child was scaring him.
Right.
And so he began to do gorilla things like grab the child and drag him away.
Right.
Which can kill the child very easily. And so it was like, here's this good-hearted gorilla
Right.
who through no fault of his own, a child has fallen in, which also is sad for the child. And we're
Right.
not really blaming the child, but now the gorilla is attempting to do a thing that a gorilla would do.
It was
And
a
so-
terrible situation.
Terrible.
But funny that people voted for him for president.
Yeah. Much like how I voted for Kanye. Terrible situation.
That's what
could
I'm
I,
saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What could I do about it?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What were we talking about?
There's no telling.
Oh, I was talking about it was so crazy. Anyway, robots are taking all of our jobs.
Yes.
And
Isaac
and so
Asimov,
what
yeah.
we're doing is these jobs where look, it takes 5 seconds to learn how to do the job.
Mm-hmm.
And Chipotle unfortunately is one of those jobs. It doesn't take much to learn how to scoop meat into a taco.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, the quality of that of what's happening at Chipotle is going down. And I think it's becoming more inconsistent. I think the food is getting, I don't know. I still eat there. It's good.
I think for me, when people debate about Chipotle, I just go like this. Quality is going to, the last thing that's going to suffer is the cleanliness, the forward-facing things. If you see that quality go down, you can be assured the quality away from customers has fallen tremendously.
That's what.
And so when I go to a Chipotle now, tables are sticky, it's dirty.
It's
They are not
disgusting.
cleaning up quickly after
Yes.
people eating. I'm constantly eating on top of other people's messes on the tables. The restaurants are not clean and tidy like they used to be. The bathrooms are not kept like they used to be. When I see that, I know that means back there it's
The stuff that we
completely
can't
overrun.
see is-
and that also makes me go, ugh, I don't even want to know what you're doing.
Exactly.
I don't like it, you know?
Yeah,
And-
because even gross kitchen. I used to work for a restaurant company. Every restaurant kitchen in America
Is gross.
Is gross.
Yes.
There's no like, and I always tell people, your oven in your own kitchen, if you go look on the top of it and you look like above, like where your stove is and everything, it's gross up there.
Yeah, yeah.
And how often do you use your stove? A kitchen. A commercial kitchen is being used
cooking 14 hours a day,
all day
16
long,
hours
every
a day, yeah.
single day.
Yeah.
It's disgusting. Yeah. But they still make the dining room look really clean
Yes.
and really nice.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
If they didn't clean up out here,
When the
watch out.
dining room looks gross, you know the kitchen is
out
beyond
of there.
beyond belief. Yeah. So yeah, last time we were in Chipotle, we all were like, "Oh, I don't want to eat in here."
Yeah, and it's just like, see, this is why we DoorDash. So we don't have to step in here with all the other peasants who buy their own food. We can just send a poor person
I don't know.
for us to go do our shopping and bring it to our little manor, you know? Because those idiots didn't get a 2.8% mortgage in 2020 like the rest of us, you know, smart people. You know what I'm saying?
So true.
Yeah, they've got to work for their living. How dare they? Bring me a kebab, peasant, you know?
Good Lord.
That's it. Make sure you don't forget the guacamole. And then by the time it gets to you, you're like, I'm not paying, it's cold. And then the peasant's like, I'm sorry, sir, I had to deliver to 4 other people who think they're the lord of their of their subdivision manor, like you. You know? And
I just thought of a new product.
yeah, please.
That HOAs should start having this product.
Yeah.
HOAs should have their own like neighborhood DoorDash like group. That should be something that HOAs start.
So I have
They
a
go get food for just their HOA.
Yeah, for just your neighborhood.
Yeah.
And it's like people
yeah.
from the neighborhood that like, you know, it's like neighborhood watch, but like neighborhood DoorDash. Like we're
I'm on duty tonight.
I'm on duty tonight. I'm
Yeah.
going to go get
Do
food.
I get a free meal every time
I think at least,
volunteer?
yeah. And you probably get paid for it too.
I have a buddy who
I like this. I'm going to explore this.
I have a buddy who lives
You heard it here first.
You heard it here first.
I play poker at a dude's house, and he lives in Dave Ramsey's neighborhood. He lives a couple doors down from Dave, and very nice neighborhood. And there's a golf course there, and the clubhouse delivers as part of the HOA. You get delivery access to the clubhouse restaurant, and it's pretty good.
Yeah.
And they bring stuff. So sometimes, if people don't bring food, we'll often bring snacks and whatever, because you don't want to show up empty-handed. And so, if there's not enough food or whatever, they might order a pizza or whatever. There's been pizza before, and it's from the clubhouse, and it's fine. So there's some version of that, but I think it's mostly centered around they have a restaurant in the neighborhood.
I'm talking normal people neighborhoods though, not Dave Ramsey neighborhoods.
Is he running for office?
Dave,
Yeah.
Dude, I would vote.
Can you write him in?
I would vote for Dave Ramsey.
what would he? I mean, imagine Dave Ramsey gets into some position of power and the national debt. Like, what would?
He would have a cow. Wait, you how much?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you hear that call from like the Treasury?
Yeah.
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 You know,
Totally.
it'd be like, how do we owe this much? You know,
Right.
um,
I saw a clip from Warren Buffett today.
yeah.
He said, I know how to solve the national debt. He goes, pass a law that if the national debt exceeds 3% of GDP, that everyone in Congress is fired.
Right.
It's like you would not have any debt anymore.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, let's do that.
There's a lot of ways to pay down the debt, and people don't want to entertain them. You know, Norway a long time ago. Norway, I think, is the richest nation per capita, and they've saved more of the rainforest just by buying it themselves. Norway goes to Brazil, and they just go to farmers who would otherwise chop down trees and try to
And they
put
just
cows
buy.
on them, and
They
they
just
just
buy
like
it.
buy your land. And these are not well-off farmers,
Right.
and they're just raising
There's
cattle
no one else
basically
to
for
buy the
themselves.
land.
They're not even
Yeah.
exporting the milk. They're not exporting the beef. They're just
Right.
people living off the land. And Norway just buys the land, and that's how they preserve more of the rainforest than Brazil is. Now, Brazil is actually preserving way more of the rainforest, of course, but Norway is adding to it. And the reason they do that is that a long time ago, Norway said, we have all sorts of natural resources, and we're just going to all of our natural resource money. It can't be used for anything but creating a large endowment investment. And so they have, I think, like $30 trillion in their whatever. They're not a huge country, but it's the difference between a country that like made a rule for itself to not spend and to actually just invest money, and now they are a very wealthy nation. Now the people there, don't exactly get checks from the government every month, but everything's free. School is free, and all these things are free. And
Is that the one with like the highest like happiness rating or something like
it,
that?
it
Is
might be. It might be.
Okay,
Yeah.
I remember seeing like some article.
They have
about
an
that.
absolutely just enormous endowment, like a wealth fund. They have the largest, and I think the Saudis have the second largest. The Saudis watched them do this and then realized, oh, that's incredibly smart. If we wanted to, we could just do a percentage of oil, and we could just, drill, baby, drill. And we could just say, we're going to drill past this certain amount, and any drilling above this certain amount or any drilling period is going to get an 11% VIG, which would be crazy. But the idea is that if you drilled enough, then domestically the price of oil will come down because America's an exporter nation of energy. We have more energy here than we need, and so we don't buy oil from the Saudis and stuff. That's like the global market. Europe imports all its stuff from Russia. We got plenty of oil here, shale in Canada, and there's more oil underneath Texas. It's just far down. It's harder to get than it is in the Middle East. But you could just put a percentage on and just say, this percentage of oil cannot be spent on anything else in the government. Nothing. It must go to pay down the national debt. Not accessible for anything else. And just earmark it. But the problem is we don't earmark anything. Or we earmark spending only, but not revenues.
Right.
So we just go, just put it in that pile. And it's crazy what we're doing. I think we're taking in like $4.5 trillion and spending like $7.5 trillion right now, which is like wild. It's just wild. Which is why
It's crazy because people like us aren't allowed to do that.
What happens if you do that?
Like eventually they start calling you. They're like, "Hey, you owe us money."
Yeah, you got to get out of here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Imagine if you went to a restaurant and ordered $50 worth of food, but only wanted to pay $25.
Yeah. I know. It's wild.
You can do that exactly one time at that restaurant.
And that's why we have all this inflation, man. That's why we have all this inflation, and
This is the true Guitar Friends content. People come to.
that's why we have all this inflation, and they're lying about the number. It's much higher than it is.
Sure.
If you go by the old way, inflation's been much higher for a lot longer. We went through a little period of time where obviously prices went crazy on some things, zero on others. You couldn't pay people to go into a Dave and Buster's. Now you can't pay them to leave.
Right.
And so anyway, I don't know. But the same is true of guitar. Anyway, how did we get here? YouTube doesn't want you to make content very different than your guitar content, which is why talking about inflation on a guitar channel is really not gonna. It's really not going to push us to that 1 million subs that Worship Tutorials has. It's just not going to get us there. This is not the game.
We're on the path.
It's just it's
I don't know. If you do it long enough, it will.
Talk about inflation.
Yeah. If we
Should the next video be like HW solves inflation?
Ooh.
Is that a third YouTube channel?
Should that be with the channel?
We just have so many channels.
HW
Yeah.
solve.
Pedals we like. We got the inflation one.
That could work. That could
Wow.
work. Well, there was going to be a clip there about how YouTube, does, other content, but I think we went in so many different directions. I don't know how we would chop that up.
Well,
This is the gold though that people come for.
I think it is.
I think so.
Yeah.
I had my phone with my list. I think we're nearing the end of our time.
We're out
together,
on my
people.
list. That was everything.
I didn't even bring a list.
This and the last episode.
Yeah.
I
That
know.
was
Filming 2 episodes back to back has been. I'm watching the timer here. It's just over 3 hours.
incredible.
Marathon.
I've been sitting here for a long time.
Yeah. Are your legs asleep yet?
No.
He
My
played
wife
some-
just texted me that they're hungry.
Ah.
She's like, "What have you guys done?"
Well,
We're hungry.
we're hungry. We're hungry, John. Send a peasant to Chipotle for
Send
us
a peasant.
to fetch us.
I know. Tonight I'm the peasant.
Fetch us our queso and guacamole.
Yeah. Are you really going to Chipotle?
No, I'm going to Tacos El Prime.
Oh, it's so good.
You got to go to the
gotta
Where?
go.
Where? Oh, the truck.
the taco
truck.
truck by my house.
Okay.
It's unreal.
Gosh,
Okay.
it's good. What are you going to get?
Everything, one of everything. I mean, I'm getting food for 6 people. So
But you're going to get 3 tacos?
You're going to go to where they're making the food, purchase it yourself, and bring it home for your family?
I know it's just shocking. At first, my wife was like, "No, let's all just go there." And I'm like, "You want to
You
stand?
don't wanna
You
go
want to
there.
stand in the parking lot and eat dinner with
I
our
was thinking
kids?"
summer's going to kind of kill that place. Like, you're going to stand outside? You're going to, like...
They can't put up like picnic tables?
No, it's in
They
a parking
don't?
lot.
I mean, they probably could bring in some...
Could I bring a
covered-
picnic table? Do you know, like, you know...
I'm sure you could.
Do you remember those picnic tables that fold up and have like a handle? Did you ever see those?
Do they have, like, a umbrella?
No, it just like unfolds, have
You
a
would need
surface and like 4 seats.
An umbrella would be clutch.
That's what I'm saying.
It's just.
But, dude, you're
parking-
outside in the summer, though.
just a
It's going to
parking
be
lot.
hot, dude.
It's only 83 out there right now. I was going to eat lunch outside. You didn't want to, John.
No, I don't want to be in the heat. It's too hot.
Sometimes it's nice that you step outside.
I'm
It's like
hot
a
right
sauna.
here.
It's like a sauna. I have the thing going to like 68.
No, I know.
You had
It's
them
just-
turn it down.
I know.
The lights get a little warm.
It
but,
helped.
You know.
As long as you don't look directly at it.
I wish that it was wintertime all the time. I love it when it's cold. I get very hot.
Is winter the most metal of all seasons?
Has to be.
I don't know. Never thought about
It's
it.
dark, right?
It's like cold.
Yeah, there's like overcast,
Yeah.
like black clouds.
It's like winter's coming.
It's certainly not spring. Can we say spring is the least
Yeah,
metal?
spring is
Spring
not
is
metal.
the least
the
metal.
least metal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are your favorite?
What's the funkiest season? Is it
What are you
spring?
even talking about?
Spring is like imagine
spring's
funk music.
funky.
Like
Yeah.
funk plays in the
What were
spring.
you going to ask
Yeah.
me?
Rate your seasons.
Rate my seasons.
Well, yeah, we talk about this as a family
Wintertime
sometime.
for sure, then spring, then fall, then summer.
Wait, would you say winter?
Winter, then spring, then fall,
I'm
then
surprised
summer.
that.
So you like it
Spring
getting
was
warm, but not it getting cold. But
No,
you
no,
like
no,
it when
see, the
it's cold.
That's what I was thinking.
No. See, the springtime. Springtime is yes, getting warmer. It has to get warmer eventually. But in the springtime, you get a randomly really cold day. In the fall, it's getting cooler, but you randomly get these really hot days.
It's getting warmer.
I
yeah,
see.
you get
It
these-
and
disappoints
I
you.
don't want to be surprised by a
Yeah.
hot, humid day. It sucks.
What's your rating?
in California, we used to call those days Indian summers.
Oh yeah.
But
California,
you can't call them that anymore.
California
No, it's-
is way
There's
different.
got to be another term for it now.
yeah.
Yeah.
You got a rating on seasons?
I mean, yeah, you know, spring is beautiful here.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I like spring when it's warming up. I like fall. Fall is, I think, the best. I would say fall is number one. So I like the leaves changing. Then I'll say spring because there's some good weather there. Then I'll say summer than winter.
Mm.
You know, summer is great for a lot of reasons. You get to go on vacation in the summer. It's hot, of course,
It's
but
too
there's
hot.
some nice days outside. And you get to do summer fun stuff. Like there's a lot of hot evenings that like you go to the winery and you just stay out there.
Sounds terrible.
You know?
He's offended by the idea. Of
I
that.
hate being outside when it's hot and humid. Like
I think
that.
too there's like a thing in the South, I've talked about this before, like you get like a glass of whiskey and a cigar and you get a rocking chair and you sit outside and it's just hot as balls out there. It's like
and a hot drink.
It's like 78 degrees and whiskey and a cigar and the cicadas are just loud and you just go like Savannah. You know what I mean? It's just like, you know, it's just there's so much culture in the ground.
Wow.
You know what I mean? There's so much like
You're not wrong.
there's something just like in the air, you know,
The
and it's
summer
like
reminds me that I live in the South.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
most.
Yeah.
It's like, man, I am no longer in California.
you're not in Orange
This
County
is-
anymore.
yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm fall number one, spring, so we're the same on those. But then
Yeah.
I'm gonna go winter, summer. Summer's the worst.
Summer's the worst.
The worst.
Yeah.
And it always lasts way longer than you think it's
and
going
fall
to.
is freaking awesome.
It's good. It's not as good as I was
You
actually
made your case.
yeah.
I get it.
I would put Maybe I wouldn't put winter as the top.
I feel like fall is like the most
No, I would.
Lululemon of all of the seasons here.
Yeah.
Like I feel like that's when all the people come and they're like, why don't I live here? I'm gonna move here, and they all try to move here, and then summer happens, and they're like,
What did we do?
They move here for the fall, and the summer makes them regret it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and they're like, ugh, we just really feel like we should go back.
But then they get
like,
their
good,
electric.
get outta
Then
here.
they get their electric bill in the summer, and they're like, it's not that bad.
Not that bad. Well, they see electricity rates very cheap here.
Yeah, so cheap. In fact, I called today because they'll give you a discount at night to charge your Tesla. They'll give you a 1 cent discount at night, but they increase during the day 1 cent.
I called mine, and they said no such discount of any kind.
Oh,
It's always the same.
Is it a different provider of electricity?
Yeah, Columbia
Yeah.
Power.
Yeah.
so I was like, wait, it goes up during the day? I was like, there's
Peak
no
hours.
I was like, there's no way that makes sense economically. The lady was the nicest lady in the whole world. She looked at my account. She was telling me like average I'm spending per day
She grew up here.
during the day. And
She's
stuff.
from here.
Yeah.
She's like, yeah, it
She
looks
lives
like
in Nolansville.
yeah. She's like, yeah, it looks like you wouldn't be saving any money. I was like, thank you so much for looking into that.
She's got a couple grandkids. Really good chocolate chip cookies.
We know
It's like
her.
Yeah.
it's like when I went to Dollywood and they were like, "Do you want the regular passes or you can get the silver or the gold? Gold will get you 20% off in the park and it'll get you 20% off here at the resort." I went, "Oh, well, how many times are we gonna come? Because the gold is only like 100 more per person or something, or like 75 more per I don't know what it is. But then it's like if we come 3 times and we stayed at this hotel." Well, then 3 times 20%, we might be saving more by getting gold. And then she goes, and you know what you can do? Just one of you gets the gold, and that person makes the reservation. The rest of you can just have the regular passes.
She's
And
right.
I went, wow. I went, this is,
Because you looked into
yeah.
the passes.
I went, this is why you're not getting promoted.
You
You're-
didn't have a good experience though.
Yeah, they have some weird stuff.
That's
But
fine.
I thought, well, this is why you're not getting promoted. Your numbers must be terrible on how much you're bringing.
Yeah,
Right.
Disneyland's not
Yeah,
telling you
everybody
that.
else is getting more gold passes sold than you. You just
Right.
cut the gold passes from 4 to 1.
Yeah.
But
Don't
ble-
tell my boss I
Yeah.
told you this, but
Right.
Yeah.
save your
But
money.
bless her heart, we did. We saved some money.
Yeah,
Bless
good
her
for
heart.
good for
you
her.
know, and that's the way to go.
That's the difference.
You know, that's the difference, and that's why we go back.
That doesn't
to
happen at Disneyland.
No.
You're right.
No.
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 They're like, you should get the most expensive thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, or they're like, I don't care what you get. I don't care
Yeah, I
about
don't
you.
care.
I don't care about any
In
of
fact, we
this.
just discontinued everything but the most expensive thing, and we're doing surge pricing right now.
half the rides are shut down.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
After
we're
I
doing
shut down.
surge pricing.
Yeah.
Surge pricing.
Right.
Surge
now.
pricing on Disneyland memberships.
Right.
Yeah. What rides do you want to go on? We closed it
Yeah, everything's done.
for Indigenous Peoples Day.
Hmm.
What? It's August.
Uh,
Doesn't matter.
Wow.
Doesn't matter. We're decolonializing Pirates of the Caribbean.
oh, jeez.
Is that how you know it's over?
I think this 2 in a row thing might be tough on us.
I heard someone say that they need to I think I heard someone say that the problem right now, the biggest problem in the world was colonialism. Which I was like, do you mean 200 years ago? Or
All right.
no, you mean right now? And they were like, I wasn't talking to this person.
Right.
They were obviously on an internet video. And, I probably had my pants down when I was on the toilet. You know, this is where you consume this type of content. And
Yep.
and they said the biggest problem right now is colonialism, and we need to decolonize. And then they showed a
A map?
map, and there was a certain country in this map that's in the middle of a war. And there's a lot of people have a lot of just really strong opinions about it.
Sure.
And I don't know what's right or wrong in any of that. You know what I mean? I know what's wrong. There's a lot of wrong. You know, but it's a tough situation. But what got me was that the rest of the map showed all these countries, and they were color coded according to like the religions. And I couldn't help but notice that the northern part of Africa was completely dominated by this one religion. And it just stuck out to me, and I went, huh, colonies. You know what I mean? I went, huh. I already talked about colonialism right there, but just this whole northern quarter of this entire continent is all because of colonies of somebody else. I never really hear anyone talk about that. I thought it was funny. Because if I go back, I remember there were some like North African nations, and they were right after Rome, you know. And anyway, I'll leave it there. But it's funny. It's funny when you go on the internet and you start to like just think about some things. You know what I'm saying? You follow what I'm saying?
Oh, I do.
You follow what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
There's just a lot of colonies in the history of the world.
It's funny what happens when you stop paying attention to just part of the picture.
Yeah.
And start looking at the whole picture.
Yeah, and it starts to be like, it feels like you're accusing some people of doing some bad things while ignoring that everyone does that.
Yeah.
And it might be true that like, hey, that's kind of a bad thing we used to do to people. Or like, that was kind of a messed up way to like spread out.
Right.
You know? Or like when you show up someplace, you should treat people fairly.
Right.
You know, you shouldn't try to like destroy their way of life like Californians do when they come here and want to vote for like, you know, raising our taxes so they can like, I don't know, put some weird program in the schools. You know what I mean?
It's in the theme song.
I know. It's in the theme song to this show. If you don't know, if you didn't think this was topical, if you thought I was going off topic, I've never been more
Very
on topic.
much on
Right.
topic.
You know what I mean?
We named our topics ahead of time.
Yeah. It's never... You know, and so
I wish I
don't
knew
know.
the lyrics word for word. I would have
Yeah.
repeated them.
Well,
Yeah.
there's
Yeah.
a lyric video you can
Yeah,
watch.
there's a lyric video. So anyway, I just want to reiterate: please don't come here and with any ideas to the Nashville area. Leave your ideas at the door. Buy a pair of cowboy boots, and
Except for seeing what there is to see here. And
Yeah.
enjoying it.
yeah, come enjoy.
Yeah.
Come enjoy.
Man, I was driving somewhere the other day and I was like, it's so beautiful here.
It's so beautiful.
It's so gorgeous.
It's so green.
Oh my gosh. It's so gorgeous. And it rains a ton.
Yeah.
And it's always humid and all of that stuff, but my goodness.
Savannah.
It's so gorgeous.
You know?
I was on a phone call at a coffee shop the other day
Yeah.
and my coworker said, "Where are you right now? Are you in like a nature preserve or something?"
jungle?
And I was like, this is literally, I would look behind me and I was like, that's just the property that happens to be across the street from this coffee shop. He's like, that's the
What
greenest.
coffee shop?
It was Elroy's over on Downs.
Yeah.
He's like, that's the greenest I've ever I was like, this is Tennessee, man.
Yeah. Where does he live? California?
He lives in Colorado.
Oh. Well, it's like kind of mountainous. I get it.
Yeah. Well, and Denver too is like
Yeah.
plains,
Yeah.
basically. But yeah, he was like, that's the greenest backdrop I've ever seen. It looks fake. I was like, that's just a random property. They're
It
not
all
even,
looks like
they're
that.
not even
Yeah.
trying to make
No.
it anything.
No.
It's just there happens
That's
to
what
be
no state income tax looks like. The trees know it,
the trees.
and they grow. They grow
They appreciate
under the
it.
banner of, you know, keep your own money. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
All right, Guitar Friends,
Well,
episode.
There you go.
was
We've
this,
really done it now.
was
Yeah.
this 35, 36?
35.
This was 35.
Yeah.
Can
Man,
I
we're-
get one more hat, just so people really understand what's going on?
Is
another
it the black one?
Should I get it?
Yeah.
Hang on.
I mean,
Just-
at this point,
Just because no one's gonna watch this.
yeah,
Very few people will make it this far.
you're gonna want to stick around for this hat. So
Maybe this could be a clip.
yeah, right. Its own dedicated clip. I did wear this hat for about 20 seconds.
It's a good one.
Yeah.
I like this hat.
It's 2024, you know.
This is
Guitar Friends, what's the episode here?
36.
36.
35.
35. Guitar Friends, episode 35. It's in the
35.
bag,
That's a message I can get on board with.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, Guitar Friends, episode 35. Hope you've enjoyed. We've gone off subject a couple times, but came back on subject. And I think it was a good one. 33, I'm still going to put it number 1. 34, strong. 35, in the pack. I don't think it's too far
I
back.
don't even remember a lot of them now.
Yeah. This one had a couple guitar
Like,
jokes.
what did we talk about on 17? We don't even know.
No idea.
We don't know.
No idea.
Like, am I still going to remember 33 when we're on like 51?
I know. We're going to be like, ooh, 48. That was the good one.
You know what I'm thinking about doing? I'm not going to tell my wife. I'm going to let the back stay long. And I'm going to cut the top short and then go real short on the side. So it's like a mullet. So I'm
Are you going to keep coloring it?
Yeah, I'm going to do blonde, all blonde, but the back will be long, like as long as it is now. And the top here, I'm going to do short like this long.
Oh.
I'm not going to spike it. It's still going to lay down. But when it's like the shortest I've cut it in the past. And then the sides I'll still do with the lightning bolt.
When I was a kid, I had a full mullet.
Yeah.
Spiky hair, long in the back. Spiky top.
And it probably wasn't even ironic at that point. It
No.
was just cool.
That was it.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Full mullet.
That's awesome. I like that.
If you sent me a picture, it's right here.
I don't think I'm going to send you a picture.
Okay. Well, sorry, guys. One can hope.
All right.
I'll get it from your mom.
Yeah.
This has been Guitar Friends.
All right.
HW.
Zeus.
See ya.
Bye.